Good day everyone, my name is Nestle Palomares, your BEED-1C student. And in this video, I'll be sharing with you guys what I have learned during our previous lessons. Our previous lesson talks about the self from various perspectives. But before anything else, I just wanted to share you a little background about philosophy. So what is philosophy? The etymological term for philosophy, or the definition of philosophy, is the love of wisdom, or the desire for truth, by formulating never-ending questions to provide answers to every inquiry about nature or human existence. So philosophy talks about wisdom, your love for wisdom, the eagerness to learn more and to know more, to expand knowledge and understanding, to deepen and widen your understanding. We tend to ask questions, never-ending queries. We love to discover new learnings, and that is philosophy, your love for wisdom. Now, philosophy of the self has been defined through two distinct approaches, which is empiricism and rationalism. Empiricism says that knowledge is derived from experience, either perceived with five senses: your sense of touch, smell, hear, taste, and sense of sight. So for empiricism, you get your knowledge from your experience, from what you've been through or processed by brain. While rationalism, on the other hand, argues that there is innate knowledge. However, there are different sources of innate. Rationalism explains self from the standpoint of what is ideal and true, and not rooted by what is felt by the senses or the body. So now, let's move on to what I have learned from our previous topic. Our topic was about the self from various perspectives. When we say the self, means ourself, itself, or yourself. Various means variety or different kinds in another term. Perspective is point of view. Philosophers had different kinds of perspective about the self. Socrates, for example, with his most quoted phrase, "The unexamined life is not worth living." So for Socrates, we had to know ourselves. We had to be the researchers of ourselves, to examine ourselves. Only then we will know the true essence of living. For Socrates, there are two dichotomous realms, the physical and ideal realm. Physical realm is imperfect, while the ideal realm is perfect. Physical realm is us, humans, person, while the ideal realm is God. God is perfect. Now Socrates had a student, which is Plato. Plato also believed that the self is synonymous with the soul. He introduced the idea of the three-part soul. The reason, physical appetite, and spirit or passion. Reason enables us to think deeply or make wise decisions. Physical appetite is our biological needs or desires, such as hunger, thirst, and sexual desires. It is what our body needs. And lastly, the spirit or passion, or your basic emotions such as love, anger, and empathy. Now let's move on to Saint Augustine, a religious philosopher. He believed that knowing the self means knowing God. For him, God created us in His own image and likeness. Knowledge can only come by seeing the truth that dwells in Him, according to his quote. And then we have René Descartes, who also brought an entirely new perspective to philosophy and the self. I think, therefore I am. For him, being conscious or thinking about yourself means that there is self. John Locke, on the other hand, also believed that the self is constructed through experiences. Self-consciousness and memories of previous experiences are the keys to understanding the self. Gilbert Ryle also believes that there is pattern of behaviors. I act, therefore I am. Simply means what I act or do is what I am. Paul Churchland advocated the idea of eliminative materialism, or the idea that the self is inseparable from the brain and physiology of the body. For him, if the brain is gone, there is no self. The self is the brain. And lastly, Immanuel Kant. For him, the self constructs its own reality, actively creating a world that is familiar, predictable, and most significantly, mine. People really had different perspective about the self, just like the philosophers I have mentioned. The self is important, so we better care for it. Know yourself. Knowing God, knowing yourself, examining yourself, researching yourself, and having knowledge about yourself simply means that knowing the self. So that's it for today's video, folks, and I hope you had a great day. Thank you for listening. Again, this is Nestle Palomares, your BEED-1C student. Bye bye.